VVIP entitlement rules the roost in Chennai, and this is apparent because Times Now conducted two separate investigations and the results were so stark that we had to come out and show you, the viewer, what's happening in Chennai. A blatant daylight robbery, water loot in the name of entitlement, officers and ministers getting tankers after tankers of water to drink and be merry in, while the rest of the population in Chennai has to stand in serpentine queues to get even a bucket of water. Now, this loot has been caught on camera, captured by a Times Now spy camera investigation, which we are going to show to you right now. The crux of it, suffice it to say, is that if you are a VVIP in Chennai, you might just get water and you can get enough water, whatever you want. But if you're a Aam Aadmi or a common citizen in Chennai, well, the rain gods help you. Take a look at this investigation.
அது எப்படி உங்களுக்கு தண்ணி இப்போ தண்ணி வரலையா கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் வரலையா கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் வரல மினிச்சூரில் நான் லாரி சப்ளை தான் அனுப்புவோம் எப்போ அவங்க ஃபோன் பண்ணால் அனுப்புவோம் டெய்லி எத்தனை லிட்டரு 9000 ஒரு நிமிஷம் 9000 லிட்டரா 1 கேட்பாங்க 2 கேட்பாங்க 3 கேட்பாங்க சிஎம் மூடுனா டெய்லி 3 போகுது சிஎம் மூடுனா சீஃப் ஜட்ஜி வீட்டுக்கு 3 அது மாதிரி அவங்க தண்ணி கேட்டால் அனுப்புவோம். அங்கே கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் பைப்லேருந்து வரும் அந்த தெரியல நமக்கு. அந்த தண்ணி தான் அவங்க மரத்துக்கு அந்த கார்டன் எல்லாமே அதெல்லாம் இருக்கும். யார் கேட்பாங்க? ஏன்னா அங்கே நம்ம பார்த்தோம் மரம்லாம் நிறைய காஞ்சிருக்கு, நிறைய போட்டுருக்காங்க. கேட்டால் தண்ணி இல்லை அப்படின்னா எங்கேருந்து போகுது தண்ணி? எங்கேருந்து போகும்? எம்ஆர்சி நகர் பட்டம் பார்த்தோம். எம்ஆர்சி நகர் தெரிஞ்சா அந்த தண்ணி சிட்டிக்குது. ஆமாம், அங்கே லாரி தண்ணி சப்ளை இல்லை, அதுதான். டெய்லி 3 டைம்ஸ் அவங்க எத்தனை கேட்குறாங்களோ அஞ்சு ஆகணும். முதலமைச்சர் வீட்டுக்கு இத்தனை கேட்குற நம்ம சொல்ல முடியுமா? அப்போ அமைச்சர் தண்ணி பஞ்சம்லாம் இல்லைன்றாரு, அதெல்லாம் வந்து பொருளிக்கிறாரு. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம அரசியல்லாம் நம்மளுக்கு எதுக்கு? நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட் சர்வெண்ட்டு. ஒரு முதலமைச்சர் வீட்டுக்கு தண்ணி கேட்குறாங்கன்னா நம்ம அனுப்பணும். ஏன் ஏது மரத்துக்கு அடிக்கிற அவங்க 6 மணிக்கு கேட்பாங்க. ஆமாம், 11 மணிக்கு கேட்பாங்க, 3 மணிக்கு கேட்பாங்க. நாங்கள் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டு போகும்போது கூட பிஏ ஃபோன் போடுவார் தண்ணி வேணும். உடனே நாங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுவோம், நைட்டில் நிற்கும் லாரி, அதை போய் அனுப்பிச்சி விடுவோம். நாளைக்கு அதை என்ட்ரி பண்ணிடுவோம். அந்த மாதிரி டெய்லி போயிட்டு இருக்கும். டெய்லி கம்பல்சரி அவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளோ லிட்டர் வேணாலும். ஆமாம், ஒரு லாரியில் எவ்வளோ லிட்டரு? 9000. ஒரு லாரியில் 9000 சின்ன வண்டிலாம் கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. அது 6000. பெரிய வண்டி தான் கேட்கும். 6000 12000. 12000 கிடையாது நம்மகிட்ட. கவர்மெண்ட் சப்ளை 6000 9000. ஓகே, 9000 வண்டி தான் கேட்பாங்க. ஆமாம், பெரிய வண்டி தான் கேட்பாங்க. இப்போ 9000 வண்டி ப்ரைவேட்டுக்கு போகிறீங்கன்னா எவ்வளோ காசு? 700 ரூபா. இப்போ இவர் அமைச்சர் இருக்கிற லோக்கல் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் வேலுமணி அவங்க வீட்டுக்குலாம் ஃப்ரீ அவங்களாம் ஃப்ரீ. அவங்க வீட்டுக்கு எவ்வளோ வண்டி போவாங்க? வேலுமணி வீட்டுக்கா? அவங்க வீட்டுக்கு அதான் நான் சொல்கிறேனே, டோட்டலாக அவங்க கேட்க தான் இருக்கணும்.
ஒரே ஒரு சோர்ஸ் தான், டீசல்நேஷனோட மட்டும்தான். அந்த டீசல்நேஷனில் எண்டு டெட்டு இங்கே இது இல்லாமல் நிறைய அது இல்லாமல் பிளான் பண்ணுறோம். இதெல்லாம் வந்து லாஸ்ட் டேட்டு இருக்குது. ஸோ அவங்க தான் லாஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு எவ்வளோ தேவைப்படுமோ அவங்க பிடிச்சிட்டு லாஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு லாஸ்ட்டாக இருக்கிறாங்க. பிடிச்சால் தான் என்ன போகுது? முன்னாடிலாம் லைனில் தண்ணி போய்டும், அவங்க தண்ணி இருக்கும். ஸோ கம்பிங் லைன்
And we spoke to the MPs from Tamil Nadu, AIDMK MP Ravindran, who's also the son of Deputy Chief Minister O. Palaniswami, feigned complete ignorance. Take a look.
What is the state government doing to deal with the water scarcity in Tamil Nadu?
Necessary measures are taken by the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister and concerned ministers of the state government. What are the measures that took? It will be announced by the government.
Sir, but we have it on tape that your house is getting water, but no other houses are getting water.
No, it's not. It's wrong propaganda.
Sir, the water distribution companies have said that netas are getting water. Approximately 9,000 liters of water are being distributed to netas, but not to the common people.
No, I didn't get no idea about this question. I will get it later tomorrow.
Well, let's just jump right into the debate right now. What we've played for you throughout the day today is a stark reminder that entitlement is still a problem in the political class. No starker example can be visible than Tamil Nadu, where this blatant water loot is happening right now. This is criminal in nature, I believe, and I will ask my guests today why they believe it's not criminal, starting with Mr. Reddy. Mr. Reddy, clearly what is happening in Chennai is not fair at any level. When ministers can call up on the push of a button, 3 tankers of water, a cumulative total of 18,000 liters per day. And common citizens there in Chennai are being told to use 4 buckets of water and, standing in serpentine queues. And the government says, we have no water. This is a temporary situation. There is no crisis. Obviously, one is forced to ask questions. Now, if you're going to tell us that the government has done enough, clearly, please go through our report, sir. Clearly, it's not enough.
Well, I think first of all, Chennai is facing a historic lows of lows, and this is a historic crisis. And measures that have been taken by the government are immense. They have been taking measures in order to ensure that the flow water is restored. But with the monsoon delayed, with all reservoirs dry, it is quite difficult for the government to make the ends meet. But on the second issue that you're raising, that ministers are getting 9,000 liters at the drop of a hat, I'm not able to confirm it. I really don't know whether this is true, but I would like to add something, that we are in the Tamil Nadu, we are in an advisory role, and I would just say that when it comes to sharing of the burden or sharing of suffering, it must be equal across the board. I think the government will sensitize.
I must appreciate you trying to sugarcoat this
with the citizens.
I must appreciate your attempt at sugarcoating this for your partners. Even when you say that you're in an advisory role, it's your job as a BJP spokesperson to defend your partners. But unfortunately, sir, in this particular case, the story is the mockery these VVIPs are making of the needs and the wants of Chennai residents. They have to stand all day. They don't get any water. We spoke to residents of Chennai today on the phone line who are on national TV with us, and I want to get Mr. Bijon Mishra on this. Mr. Mishra, there were so many examples today of them telling us this is not new, and even a mafia of sorts operating. Even the lorry drivers who drive these tankers are in on it, and the end result is that the common citizen, the Aam Aadmi, if you will, in Chennai, has absolutely no recourse. While the mockery these VVIPs, the political class, is making out of the needs really and the pain of citizens is absolutely unacceptable to me. I'm surprised it's not as unacceptable to Mr. Reddy, who's trying to find some excuse to sugarcoat this. No disrespect, sir. Nothing personal here.
Absolutely, Athar. Such things are not historic, but they are created. They are a creation of negligence. There is a creation of insensitivity. There is a creation because of non-accountability, and people draw fat salaries every month, but they are not made accountable. You see, till now, not a single head has rolled in terms of metro water supply of Chennai. Why should there be such an historic moment in terms of giving water, which is a most essential need of a citizen, which is a right of a citizen, which needs to be given to take care of his life. You need water, and you are making the person stand in the queue and say, you now sacrifice and share your burden. You take all the taxes from us. You don't even bother to share the taxes
what is galling
with us. You don't even bother
Mr. Mishra,
to
what is
give
galling
us back
here?
the money.
And I wouldn't be too far off the mark if I said this was the Marie Antoinette moment in Chennai right now, because the supply is divided like this. Priority water is given to the ministers, the top officials, even some judges, I believe, according to our investigation. And we have those visuals to prove all we are saying right now. Whatever is left is being distributed to the citizens of Chennai, especially in areas which don't have access to water here. So clearly, even in water, the most basic amenity anybody in this country should have the right to, even in that basic amenity, rules are being followed. There's a class system. If you're a politician, you'll get the water first. Whatever is left, the leftovers, the scraps, will be given to you as if you are being done a favor. Mr. Murari, this is not new. Tamil Nadu has been parched for a while. We are running visuals of all the reservoirs that are bone dry absolutely. If the government didn't foresee this coming, and the best response that they have right now is to make sure water comes to them first and the leftovers are then somehow given to citizens at large by doing them some great kindness, something is seriously wrong, something is rotten.
No, let me put the issue in the proper perspective. At the one level is the VVIP, the ministers. As you say, they get three water loads, truckload of water or more, free, of course, taxpayers' money. At the other end are the slum dwellers. And the corporation, Metro Water, sees to it that they get at least the minimum quantum of water. They 600 trucks ply all over the city and they have the water tanks in every slums and they fill it. Why? Because they don't get water, they'll come out to the street, there'll be riots. So the poorest of the poor are taken care of. It is only the middle class who has been left in the lurch, especially those in the gated community. There at least they can organize and get some water. Not enough to meet your requirements, but we are used to rationing water, getting less, living with half our entertainment. That's okay. But those living in individual houses like us, we have to do on our, we depend on bore well. And corporation water restricted once in 2 days, limited water only we are getting. We have to have preserve the water.
This is a pathetic state of affairs, and as Mr. Murari was telling us, the middle class is the worst hit. Because
water, that is
yes, even if the slums are getting the minimum requirement of water, the government is not doing them any favors.
The water bottles, they all disappeared.
Yes, they all disappeared. So is this, and I want to ask Mr. Kishore Swami. Mr. Kishore Swami, who's here as a supporter of the ADMK government, is this good governance, Mr. Swami? Is this good preparation, Mr. Swami? Is this justifiable? Can this be justified? If there has to be water rationing, it should start at the top. The ministers should be the ones showing some austerity and rationing their own water, not getting 18,000 litres a day.
Okay, with due respect to your sting operation and with due respect to your concern for the common citizen of Chennai, I would like to clarify certain points here. See, your sting operation shows a particular tanker, say about, as per your claim of being about 9,000 litres, moving into a compound. Now, please understand what that compound is. It is just not the residence of one chief minister. It is the residence of the chief minister plus 8 ministers. It is a compound which has about the quarters of 8 ministers along with the chief minister. And the chief minister has his camp office there, which means that there will be hundreds, if not thousands of visitors every day, day in and day out. And to say that 3
Even
containers
if what you're saying
going
is
in
true,
to,
Mr. Kishore Swami, and with due respect to your explanation, sir. One second. One second.
The second point that I would like to drive home here is the,
Mr. Swami.
No, let me finish.
With due respect to your explanation, sir.
I don't mind you correcting me later on.
But Mr. Swami, I just have a counter. I just have an intervention here. No, I know because one second. I understand. I will let you finish. I promise you. I will let you finish. My only intervention is this. Even if what you're saying is right now acceptable, and I accept that there are many households in that particular compound, and accept and buy a theory, and I'm calling it a theory, that supply goes to many households. My question is this. Why don't citizens like Mr. Murari and others we've spoken to have the same kind of prompt service in terms of a lorry delivery, in terms of calling up the Metro Corporation saying, look, this compound, this society needs water? We've spoken to people, they don't have the luxury, sir, and that is the problem.
Can I come in?
I empathize with Mr. Murari and the people who have been struggling. For a bit, I am not going to justify that, but what I am trying to say here is please understand the topography of Chennai. There are parts of Chennai which are still receiving the metro water. And there are parts of Chennai which are not receiving the water because of the topography by itself. There are certain parts where we can supply, there are
so
certain parts
it's
we
the
cannot supply. This is
topography
supply
now.
demand.
Wonderful.
There is a problem, disparity there.
I really admire your stance. I really admire your defending the indefensible.
You expect the chief minister to come and stand with a plastic pot in the middle of the road?
No, I
Is that what you're
expect the chief
expecting?
minister to
Wouldn't that
educate.
be dramatic?
No,
He's the
absolutely
chief
not.
minister.
The first
He's the
duty
chief
of the
minister
chief
of Tamil
minister is to
Nadu.
make
People
sure
from
that
all over
basic
Tamil Nadu
amenities
come
like
to visit.
water are supplied to the citizens of Chennai, and the chief minister, frankly, sir, and don't mind me saying this, is shirking the responsibility in the most horrendous manner.
Absolutely.
In the most horrendous manner, sir.
Absolutely. I am not denying it one bit. Am I denying it one bit? Yes, it is
Mr. Bejon
it is the
Mishra,
responsibility of the chief
are
minister.
these two
And yes, the chief
explanations
minister
sufficient
should
for
not
you?
side away.
Mr.
He's not
Mishra?
holidaying
Mr.
in
Mishra, please come
Singapore
in.
Like
Yeah,
Kolkata
you see,
MLA
Athar,
Mr. Mishra.
Athar,
which is
Yes.
part of Chennai, which is
Athar,
really
Bejon Mishra, please go ahead.
The MLA is holidaying.
please tell them to keep quiet here.
Okay, go ahead. Mr. Mishra, go ahead, please.
Athar, what I want to tell you, why don't I see the ministers and the chief minister standing with bucket in a queue to take water?
Exactly. Exactly.
You see, my question is this. We all pay taxes, including them. If we are all paying our taxes, why should there be discrimination? Why should water tankers be sent to their homes and not to the homes of the middle class?
Stalin, why is he holidaying in Singapore when his constituency in Chennai is reeling in water scarcity?
I'm not talking
Why is the
political.
tagline not including his house?
You please.
Why is the sting operation not including his house?
I am saying that why shouldn't we take these people to task who are drawing such fat salaries, amenities, all facilities from us, who are supposed to supply us water? Why are they not being action being taken against them? Why are we not taking action against them?
The camp office of the chief minister that thousands of people visit, and there are 8 more ministers' houses, and there are hundreds of people who go there to visit them.
No, why should we get into this crisis first of all?
Exactly.
Why did you create this crisis?
Why is this crisis there in the first place? And I want to go back to Mr. Reddy on this. One second. No, drought situation we understand, sir, but we understand the drought situation. The Kerala government has ordered, the Kerala government in fact has offered. Mr. Kishore Swami, please listen to the facts now. Please listen to the facts now. The Kerala government, Pinarayi Vijayan, offered God knows how many thousand cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu in the time of need. The Tamil Nadu government hasn't acted on it. Number one. They allowed groundwater to be overused by farmers, and that is why there is a water scarcity. So if the government wants to completely wash its hands off their role in creating the crisis, I'm sorry, we're not buying it today, sir. We're not buying it today. We will not buy it tomorrow, because we have the status report to prove what the government did and did not do. And unfortunately, sir, and even a cursory glance will tell you, if you look at that status report, that the government did not do nearly enough to prevent this crisis. Please answer. I'm asking you.
You're asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Yes, I think...
So this is for Mr. Reddy, sorry.
Yes, I think
Mr. Reddy,
first of all we must realize...
Mr. Reddy, please, Mr. Swami,
Yes.
I'll come back to you. Mr. Reddy, please go ahead.
Yes, I think, Akhtar, first of all, we must realize that this is not a normal time. You know, this is not a usual time when there are supplies that have been panned out across Chennai, because this crisis has emerged only during the time when rains have failed. There is a drought situation and the reservoirs have gone bone dry.
Oh my God.
We are looking at an abnormal situation in Chennai. And in order to answer this abnormal situation, the government is taking measures. It is not that government is not taking measures. Let us realize that.
Come on.
There is one question that we are asking today, that pre-May, pre-April, such a situation had not arisen. There were supplies that were there. Now what has happened? The monsoon has failed and the reservoirs are dry. Now this is a resultant situation of a crisis, a cocktail of circumstances that have resulted in this. But that does not mean that the government can shirk its responsibility. The government will have to take adequate measures. What you're pointing out about VIP culture, I think I'm very fair. I think there must be a fair sharing of crisis,
Absolutely.
fair sharing of suffering.
Absolutely.
But I don't say that the ministers must stand in queues. I don't think that is what is meant by, that
Why
is not
not?
what is meant by fair
Why
sharing
not?
of suffering.
Why
But
not?
there must be something, there must
Why
be
not?
something where,
Why should
where
not
the
the
ministers are held
ministers be
responsible.
standing in the queue?
And
But
they
there has to
will
be
also
accountability.
ensure
One second, hold on.
that adequate
But there has
measures
to
are
be
taken.
accountability. Even if the ministers don't have to stay in a queue, which I think Mr. Mishra would like, and I'm sure those people who stand in those serpentine queues would also like to see a minister or two standing in line with them, if for nothing else, but to see at least the representatives are in between them, amongst them. But some accountability, a semblance of it at least, which apparently is not there, because there is a blatant water loot happening, because VVIPs get water and the rest of us have to wait in line and get 4 buckets of water every day. A family of 5 cannot survive in 4 buckets, Mr. Reddy, Mr. Swami. It's a loot. I'm sorry, what is the exception to, sir? It's a loot. The minister can call for tankers immediately. Half an hour later, it's criminal. It's criminal. Absolutely. It is a water loot. It's daylight robbery. These people are being robbed of their basic amenities, and the government is turning a blind eye, sir. Absolutely not. I'm bang on the money.
Irresponsible officials working.
Bang on the money, sir. Bang on the money. We have no time. We have no more time on this. We have no
How
time.
you saw Rahul Gandhi going and standing in
Sir,
the
you should see how dramatic the need for water in serpentine queues in slums in Chennai is. I'm appalled you're calling it drama. You go ask those people who have no water to drink. You should be ashamed, sir. They have no water to drink and you're calling this a drama?
I respect your concern for the common
You should be ashamed for calling this a drama, sir. You go ask those people who have no water to drink in Chennai and are waiting in serpentine queues. You call this a drama? You should be ashamed of yourself.
deprived and they are
We have no more time. We conclude now. Thank you for joining us.